What if the people meant to protect you were the ones who betrayed you? What if your biggest pain was the beginning of your purpose? This is the story of Joseph, a dreamer, a slave, a prisoner, a ruler, and a man who learned that what others mean for evil, God can use for good. Joseph was 17 years old when the dreams began. He was his father Jacob's favored son, and everyone knew it. Jacob gave him a special robe, a coat of many colors. It wasn't just clothing, it was a symbol: favor, love, distinction, and his brothers hated him for it. Then Joseph dreamed. In his first dream, he and his brothers were binding sheaves of grain in the field. Suddenly, his sheaf stood upright, while theirs bowed down to it. He told them the dream. They were furious. "Do you really think you will rule over us?" But the dreams did not stop. In another dream, the sun, the moon, and 11 stars bowed before him. Even his father was disturbed, but deep inside, Jacob wondered. One day, his brothers were tending sheep far from home. Jacob sent Joseph to check on them. As Joseph approached wearing the robe they hated, they saw him from a distance, and they made a decision. "Here comes the dreamer," they said. "Let's kill him." Jealousy had grown into hatred. Reuben, the oldest brother, stopped them. Instead of killing Joseph, they threw him into a pit, a deep, empty hole in the ground. No water, no escape. Joseph cried out, but they ignored him. Then something even worse happened. A caravan of traders passed by, and his brothers sold him for 20 pieces of silver. They sold their own brother like property. Then they dipped his robe in goat's blood and brought it to their father. Jacob believed Joseph was dead, and Joseph was carried away to Egypt alone. In Egypt, Joseph was sold again, this time to a powerful official named Potiphar. Joseph had lost his home, his family, his freedom, but he had not lost his faith, and the Lord was with him. Everything Joseph touched began to prosper. Potiphar noticed. Soon, Joseph was placed in charge of the entire household, a slave managing everything. But success brings new tests. Potiphar's wife noticed Joseph. He was young, strong, handsome. She tried to seduce him, day after day, but Joseph refused. "How can I do this great wickedness and sin against God?" One day, she grabbed his cloak. He ran. She kept the cloak and lied. She accused him of attacking her, and Potiphar believed her. Joseph was thrown into prison again, betrayed again. Imagine that moment. He did the right thing and still suffered. He obeyed God and still paid the price. Have you ever felt like that? In prison, Joseph could have grown bitter. He could have blamed God, but instead, he remained faithful, and once again, the Lord was with him. Soon, he was placed in charge of the prisoners. Even in chains, he led. One night, 2 prisoners had dreams: Pharaoh's cupbearer and Pharaoh's baker. They were troubled. Joseph listened. He said something powerful. "Do not interpretations belong to God?" He interpreted their dreams. The cupbearer would be restored, the baker would be executed, and it happened exactly as Joseph said. Before the cupbearer left, Joseph made one request: "Remember me." But when the cupbearer was restored, he forgot Joseph. 2 more years passed. 2 years of silence, 2 years of waiting, 2 years of wondering if the dreams were a lie. Then Pharaoh himself had a dream. 7 healthy cows were eaten by 7 thin ones. 7 full heads of grain were swallowed by 7 withered ones. No one could explain it. Suddenly, the cupbearer remembered. There is a man in prison. Joseph was rushed from the dungeon, shaved, cleaned, brought before Pharaoh. Pharaoh said, "I heard you can interpret dreams." Joseph replied, "I cannot, but God will give Pharaoh the answer." Even after everything, he gave God the credit. Joseph explained the dream. 7 years of abundance are coming, followed by 7 years of severe famine. The famine will be devastating. He then advised Pharaoh to store grain during the good years. Pharaoh was amazed. Can we find anyone like this man in whom is the Spirit of God? And in one day, Joseph went from prisoner to prime minister of Egypt, second only to Pharaoh. At 30 years old, the dreamer was now a ruler. The famine came, and people from many lands came to Egypt to buy food, including Joseph's brothers. They did not recognize him, but he recognized them. The moment had come. The ones who betrayed him were bowing before him, just like the dream. Joseph tested them. He wanted to know if they had changed. He watched their reactions. He heard their regret. And when he could no longer hold back, he wept. He revealed himself. "I am Joseph." They were terrified, but Joseph said something that changed everything. "Do not be afraid. You meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, to save many lives." Joseph forgave them. He brought his father to Egypt. He restored his family. The pit did not destroy him. Slavery did not break him. Prison did not silence him. Delay did not cancel him, because God was writing a bigger story. Joseph teaches us something powerful. Favor doesn't mean you won't suffer. Doing right doesn't guarantee easy results. Delay does not mean denial. And betrayal does not cancel destiny. Sometimes the pit is preparation. Sometimes the prison is positioning. Sometimes the delay is development. If you were in a season of waiting, God is still working. If you feel forgotten, He has not forgotten you. If you were betrayed, it may be the path to your promotion. Joseph's life proves this. Your pain can become your platform. Your struggle can become your strength. And what others meant to destroy you may be the very thing God uses to elevate you. This is the Bible Unfold, where Scripture is not just told, it is unfolded.